Middle East is a complex zone right now, where there is number of ongoing wars and core wars happening within the region. Different part of region is always been problematic with its government or with its regime within its own people. Let's talking about Yemen, which is ongoing war, is a worst humanitarian crisis. Whether we talk about Syrian civil war, one of the worst war in the centuries. Libya war is also one of the most disaster. But as the video is discussed, we're going to talk about a Soviet-Afghan war within 5 minutes. This region has always been that complex after the rise of Arab Springs, where the different people toppled their own government. Soviet-Afghan War, which is one of the most famous war fought in Afghanistan, which started from December 24, 1979 to February 15, 1989, where there is number of insurgent group rises, and the Communist Party of Afghanistan took power. And these communist group was also known as PDPA. The insurgent group has got a lot of support from outside world. A lot of countries supported it, and itself the insurgent group were divided into two groups. Most of its group was with the Sunni Mujahideen, with its faction, and a Shia militant, which was supported by Iran. But the foundation of the conflict laid by the Saur Revolution, when the PDPA, also known as Afghanistan Communist Party, toppled the government and assassinated the Muhammad Dawood Khan, then the president of Afghanistan. The revolution resulted in creation of government with Nur Muhammad Taraki as the new president. Afghanistan Communist Party took power, initiating a series of radical modernization and land reform. Throughout the country, these reforms were deeply unpopular among the most traditional ruler population and established power structure. The repressive nature of Democratic Republic, which vigorously suppressed opposition, executed thousands of political prisoners, led to the rise of anti-government armed group by April 1979. Large part of the country were in open rebellion. Communist Party itself experienced a deep internal rivalry between the Khalqists and Pershamids. This two group was part of the Communist Party. In September 1979, President Nur Muhammad Taraki, which was then the president of Afghanistan, was assassinated under the order of second in command, which Hafizullah Amin, which shows relation with the Soviet Union. Eventually, Soviet government under the leader of Leonid Brezhnev decided to deploy 40th Army on December 24, 1979. This 40th Army on December 24, 1979 arrived in capital of Kabul. But this was not a good ending because they staged a coup, which was known as Operation Storm 333, killing President Amin and installing Soviet loyalist Babrik Kemal from the rival faction of Pershamids. The deployment had been vigorously called invasion by the Western media and the rebel, and legitimate supported intervention on the basis of Brezhnev doctrine. Babrik Kemal, who was a rival faction from the rival faction of Prussia, who was a Soviet loyalist. In January 1980, foreign ministers from 34 nations of Organization of Islamic Cooperation adopted a resolution demanding the immediate, urgent and unconditional withdrawal of Soviet troops from Afghanistan. UN Government General Assembly passed a resolution protesting the Soviet intervention by vote of 104 or 218 against 18 abstention. Along with India supported the intervention. Afghan insurgents began to receive massive amount of support from aid, finance and military training in neighboring Pakistan, with a significant help from United States and United Kingdom. They were also heavily financed by China and Gulf Cooperation Council countries. Soviet troops occupied the cities and main arteries of the communication, while the Mujahideen waged guerrilla war in a small group operation in almost 80% of the country that has outside government. International community imposed numbers of sanctions and embargoes against Soviet Union. Even the US led a boycott of 1980 Summer Olympics held in Moscow. This invasion resulted in a bloody war that lasted 9 years. By the mid-1980s, the Soviet contingent were increased by the military diplomatic cost of the war to the USSR was high. The cost of the war for the USSR was high. By mid-1987, Soviet Union, now under the reformist leader Mikhail Gorbachev, announced it would start withdrawal its force from after meeting with the Afghan government. Final troop withdrawal started on May 15, 1988, ended in February 15, 1989, leaving the government force alone in the battle against the insurgents, which continued until 1992.